Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lady Universe and I'm White and Nerdy. And I know, I'm wearing a Superman shirt while talking about Spider-Man. What are both my favorite superheroes, and I didn't really feel like throwing on my Venom sweatshirt for this one, so there you go. But 2026, in the summer of 2026, Marvel has already announced that Spider-Man Brand New Day will be coming out. And they accidentally exposed who the main villain would be. So the number one pick on this list is going to be the most obvious one. But aside from that, I am going to be counting down my top 10 favorite picks, like the ones that I think would work best for a Brand New Day movie, and these are the villains that I want to see in this movie. Now, mostly with these picks, I picked them. I'm just going to mention this right now, not just because that these are some of my favorite Spider-Man villains, but because some of these villains have been name dropped in these Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy so far until Brand New Day comes out. But the number one pick is obvious in case nobody had figured it out. It's Mr. Negative. The Mr. Negative is the main villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's not a competition. We figured it out when they said we are looking for a middle-aged to elderly-aged Asian actor, and I'm like, Mr. Negative. Every single person on the internet wants Mr. Negative. It's Mr. Negative. We are going to pull Mr. Negative into this. But these are my, and especially with some of the news behind Spider-Man Brand New Day, long before Marvel announced what the new name would be, they have announced a few teasers to upcoming villains, maybe for this movie. Like, maybe it won't be just Mr. Negative. Maybe it'll be like Tom Holland's version of the Sinister Six or something. But regardless, this is going to be the top 10 villains I want to see in Spider Man Brand New Day when it comes out next year. So I figured if I did the same for the Batman 2, which that's not coming out until either 2026 or 2027, why don't I count down my top 10 villains that I want for Spider Man Brand New Day now, and we'll see if some of my predictions come true except for the number one pick because that one's the most obvious by this point. So let's get into this. So let's begin the countdown. Jump into my Spider-Man character encyclopedia and count down the top 10 villains that I want to see in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So let's grab our web trainer, start training through New York City, and begin the countdown. This is the top 10 villains I want to see in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So let's get started. At number 10, the Chameleon. Yeah, we've seen Chameleon in Kraven the Hunter, so I mean it's very obvious that that Chameleon or Kraven could pop up in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But instead of Kraven, one of Spider-Man's longest adversaries and also one of my personal favorites, I think that Chameleon would be a great touch upon the Spider-Man mythos. You could have it be that after the Kraven the Hunter movie, Dimitri went to New York City where he entangled Spider-Man, and he decided to fuck with him. Make him believe things that aren't real. We know that there's going to be a new female lead in Spider-Man, in Spider-Man Brand New Day, so why not make it a chameleon in disguise? That would be a perfect twist that nobody would see coming. And it would be great and wonderful to see one of my favorite underrated Spider-Man villain make a cameo and be the villain for once in a live-action movie. Number 9, Hydro Man. Now, remember back in Spider-Man Far From Home where Morris Bench was actually teased? Yeah, when I was watching this after I bought the character encyclopedia, I was like, wait, isn't that the actual name of Hydro Man? And it is. We already know Hydro Man is in the Spider-Man universe, so why not actually make him a thing? Even as a joke character, have Spider-Man go up against Morris Bench and just have him defeat him in the easiest way possible. I mean, it basically speaks for itself, and I know that Hydro Man is an underrated Spider-Man villain, but they already dropped him in Spider-Man Far From Home, so it just makes perfect sense to me to actually have Hydro Man be a villain, even if not the main villain, just have him be a joke villain for Peter to kind of like fight like in the first half of the movie before, the main villain comes out. I'm just saying it would be wonderful to see him, even just as a joke character, since we already name dropped him. At number 8, Scorpion. This was a name drop villain way back in Spider Man Homecoming, and he could still work. You could have Matt Gargan escape from prison and he wants revenge on the man that put him there. He finds out somehow that Peter Parker and Spider Man are one and the same, even though Doctor Strange has reversed the universe. But let's just say for story interest, he finds out. He becomes pissed off and he starts hunting down Peter. He even gets to work with J. Jonah Jameson, who gives him the Scorpion suit and pays him to try to kill Spider-Man. In the end, maybe, JJ's not feeling the same after seeing, such a big adversary try to go up against Spider-Man that he tried to help and almost gets himself in trouble anyways. Yes, Scorpion was name dropped back in Spider-Man Homecoming, and if you missed it, you might want to rewatch the film to see if you can catch it again. And if you remember, Scorpion was one of the teased villains long back in Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, so it would be great to see him. And speaking of name drop villains, at number 7, the Prowler. No, not the Harvey Brown version, the Aaron Davis version. We already seen Donald Glover both as Prowler in Spider-Man Beyond Across the Spider-Verse, and we already have seen him in Spider-Man Homecoming. So it would make sense that Prowler would go up against Spider-Man. You could have him be a hired thug by the Kingpin and have him try to go up against this great foe Spider-Man. Or at the same time, Peter had just met Miles, and so Aaron had to wonder, can I put myself in harm's way with my nephew being in the same room as this guy? When he finds out who Spider-Man really is, and then he finds out, oh crap, he's best friends with my nephew, and I'm close with my nephew. I don't think that I could go up against this guy. It would make a very intriguing story, and it would make for one hell of a movie if they ever decide to do so. At number 6, Venom. You know that Venom is gonna be in one of the upcoming Spider-Man movies. Hell, even before Brand New Day was chosen, remember, one of the Spider-Man names was Spider-Man and Venom. And if you remember the end cutscene of No Way Home, we've already seen Venom, and we know that he's going to go after Peter Parker. So, if everything goes well, perhaps we can see our big ever-loving symbiote in the Spider-Man universe, especially since Tom Holland does not have a Venom. Or either that, or maybe Venom will go over to the Andrew Garfield universe. But I'm pretty sure a bunch of people want to see their favorite symbiote in an actual movie. Because the last time he was in a movie, we still don't forgive Sam Raimi for that, end quote, creative choice, unquote. So it would be perfect to see Venom, Spider-Man's most worthy and memorable adversary, finally get the treatment that he deserves. Number 5, the Vulture. We all seen that end credit sequence at the end of Morbius that Adrian Toomes was back. So we thought, okay, he'd be in Thunderbolts. No. But this could mean that he might make a cameo appearance in Spider-Man Brand New Day. You could have it be that Vulture, Adrian Toomes, teams up with Mr. Negative, Martin Lee, and thus they create their own version of the Secret Six. I'm telling you people, there will be another version of the Secret Six for Spider-Man to fight. I just have that feeling. But you could have it be that Adrian teamed up with Mr. Negative because Mr. Negative is like, hey, listen, I can give you back everything that you want. I can give you back your wife. I can give you back your daughter. But you have to help me take down Spider-Man. And Adrian agreed, only to take Peter down yet again after he destroyed his life in Spider-Man Homecoming. And it would make for a perfect revenge story, and it would be great to see Michael Keaton back as Vulture. At number 4, Black Cat. Now, Spider-Man Brand New Home has announced that there would also be a female villain. So I think that Black Cat would be the perfect choice. She is a love interest for Peter, so you can have a great triangle relationship if you ever tried to get back with Michelle in the universe, and you could just have it be a perfect setting. You could have it be that Felicia Hardy is a new student at the college where Peter goes, and she is very smart. Until she finds out Peter's true identity, and he doesn't figure that she is the Black Cat. So she decides to mess with him, create a little bit of a romantic sexual tension between the two of them, and a great romantic chemistry. If you can find somebody that had great chemistry with Tom Holland, this would be perfect. And you can have Tom Holland be like, no, I want to get back with Michelle. And then Felicia's like, no, honey, you're back with me, and thus we are going to make a brand new day. And you can have a cute little, like, title drop at the end of that. But Black Cat is one of Spider-Man's most memorable and longest running female ever series, and she'd be perfect for this movie. And we haven't seen Black Cat in the movie form yet, only name dropped. Come on, cinema, give us Black Cat. Give us what we want. Number 3, Hobgoblin. Okay, so a lot of you might be scratching your heads, but hear me out. Spider-Man has always fought a goblin. So why not the Hobgoblin? We know that Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn are not a thing in the Tom Holland universe, but it doesn't have to be an Osborn. They've already said that the actor that played Ned might become a goblin. And if he's not going to become the Green Goblin, he could become the Hobgoblin. Think about it. Maybe after Spider-Man had fixed the universe, Ned suddenly hates his best friend. He suddenly wants nothing to do with him. And so for destroying his life, maybe taking his girlfriend away from him, something like that, Ned finally decides, screw it. I am going to kill the Spider-Man, but I can't do it alone. So he finds somebody who's very smart with technology, like Adrian Toomes, and says, help me kill the Spider-Man. And thus, the Hobgoblin is born, and we have Ned as a goblin. Marvel has already teased this idea, people, so don't come at me and go, that doesn't make any sense. Because it does honestly make sense, because Marvel had already teased that idea, and the actor that played Ned said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, maybe we could do that. So, the Hobgoblin would be perfect for the Tom Holland Spider-Man. At number 2, the Kingpin. Alright, listen. Daredevil, with Charlie Cox, has already been seen that it is in canon universe with the Tom Holland Spider-Man films. Daredevil's new series, Daredevil Reborn, was very popular, and it made Disney Plus a lot of money. Thus, it made the series a lot of money. So I'm pretty sure people want to see Wilson Fisk try to crack open Spider-Man's skull. Think about this. You have Wilson Fisk, who just took down Daredevil, who just thought that he finally escaped away from Matt Murdock, only to find there's a new superhero running around in New York City, and it's Spider-Man. So he tries to take down this web-swinging wall crawler until he realized Spider-Man is a great match for him, a greater match than that of the Daredevil. So he tries everything in his power to take them down, but they're both equally matched in strength. Not necessarily size, but strength and agility. It would be for a perfect movie, and you can have Wilson Fisk team up with Martin Lee and tell Martin, I know that Spider-Man destroyed your life. He's to blame for this. Spider-Man destroyed your life. I can help you. I can make this all for the better. And it would be a wonderful story worth telling over and over and over again. And I'm pretty sure people are not going to let Wilson Fisk die down in popularity, especially after Daredevil Reborn. And he would be a perfect pick for a Spider-Man movie, especially since he's been up against Spider-Man just as many times as Daredevil. But of course, even though that would be an awesome decision, I'm pretty sure that they might consider it, but we have to move to our number 1. And at number 1, Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative is a mysterious force that lives inside of Martin Lee. Nobody understands it. And we already know that Mr. Negative had been teased to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But you can put a twist on this Martin Lee. You can have it be that Martin Lee was a very good friend to that of May Parker. When he finds out that she passed away and he secretly had a huge crush on her, he suddenly finds out through somewhere that May Parker was killed by Spider-Man, that he had something to do with this. And so Martin's darker side suddenly comes out and talks to Martin and said, hey, listen, that Spider-Punk, he killed the woman that you love. He killed this woman that you had a crush on ever since you were younger. This woman who meant everything to you. So why don't we finally squash the little bug like he deserves? And we all know that Mr. Negative will be in Spider-Man Brand New Home, but that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my top 10 picks for Spider-Man villains I want to see in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Did I tackle any of your favorites? Do you have any that I talked about that you're like, that could be an interesting idea? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if there was a villain that I didn't spotlight, one that you'd like to see in Spider-Man Brand New Home. Be sure to, or Brand New Day. Be sure to tell me, or yeah, Brand New Home, Brand New Home. Sorry, Brand New Home, Brand New Day. I forget. I think it's called Brand New Day, but we all had the home in the thing, so it is what it is. But tell me who you would pick as a villain for Spider-Man Brand New Home or Brand New Day down in the comments down below. And are you as excited as the movie as I am next year? Let me know also in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can be notified every single time I make an upload. And you can also follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below, so you can always see whatever I'm doing or talking about over there on the great world of Twitter. Also, maybe some behind the scenes stuff. Sometimes I do that, and other times I don't. But thank you guys so much for watching. God bless Universe. I'm White Nerdy. Keep your on. This has been a Lazy Universe Top 10. And until next time, keep your on. And as always, take care.